Welcome back, fellow rebels, for another episode chock full of spoilers. We are so hungry for Empire at War, aren't we? I know I am, and every day looking at Reddit and Facebook groups is making me a little crazy because we have had a metric ton of spoilers hit the net during the Nova Open because FFG had a Destiny demo table, and players who won a game against their demo guys at the booth got to open a pack. So naturally, people are cracking these packs and posting their pulls online for all to see, and that's really, really awesome. It shows how great this community is when we're all sharing information and stuff. But, I have to say, though, that there are just way too many cards to cover in a single video. I mean, I could do it, but then the video would be like 30 minutes long, and I'm not sure anyone wants to watch a super long spoiler video on my channel just yet. But you can post in the comments if you're that person, and I'll definitely consider it. But for now, I'm just going to go over some of the new stuff from FFG's Allies of the Force article, which is all about Blue Hero. And boy, do I love me some Blue Hero. And then maybe in another video, I'll go over some of the other stuff out there. So don't go anywhere just yet. I'll be right back in I don't know, 10 seconds. So just yesterday, FFG put out a deck tech article, something that they've done in the past, showing some love for Blue Hero. Blue Hero needs a lot of help, and I gotta say, having started this game as a Qui-Gon Rey player, I've had my ups and downs with the deck since day one. At one point, I remember pulling it apart and I just threw all the cards in a box and I didn't look at them for a while. Since then, I've put the deck back together, but my success hasn't really changed all that much. So that said, what I see coming out of Empire at War, and even in this new two-player game set, is showing me, and I don't think I'm alone in this, that Blue Hero is not out yet. So let's take a look at the few cards that FFG spoiled, and then I guess talk about maybe some other stuff going around on the internet. First card up is Fearless. This is a 2-cost upgrade ability that reads, after you activate attached character, you may give it 1 shield and draw a card. So this was interesting for a few reasons. Firstly, it's a non-dice upgrade, and ever since Ahsoka hit this past week, everyone's been talking about ways to reactivate her for value, and that means keeping her dice count really low. Activating to get a shield isn't exactly game-changing, though, even for Qui-Gon, but it is a pretty cool effect on its own just to get for, activating your character, something that you're normally going to do. And it's made better when you couple this combo with the Shoto lightsaber, which we saw about a week ago. The article goes a little bit into that particular combo to try to sell the card, but its 2 cost is kind of high for Blue Hero, which always seems to only ever have 2 or 3 resources available, and it doesn't have a good way to produce more. Oftentimes you're using your dice to get resources back, and then you're not doing damage. And Blue Hero kind of has that trend with a lot of things, like using guard to pluck a melee damage off your side of the table to remove your opponent's dice. Okay, well, they're not doing damage, and guess what? You're doing less damage too. So I would say use caution when considering this card, unless you can get it out for cheaper, or if Empire War gives Blue Hero some sort of money engine going forward. Next up, we have a legendary, and boy, it is a nice legendary. So we've got here a neutral blue lightsaber for 2 cost. That's pretty nice, and it's got good sides. Nothing insane, but they are 2 black sides, and totally workable at 1 melee, plus 3 melee, a shield, and a resource. But its action is what looks appealing to me, aside from its cost. And the action reads, heal 2 damage from attached character, place this upgrade on the bottom of your deck. Okay, so we've got our clutch mill control lightsaber. I'm kidding. That's awful. And we heal 2 damage. That's pretty nice. Remember that villain can use this too, so now they have a way to heal which might be scary on something like Baby Vader or some other blue villain. In fact, it doesn't have to be blue because this is an ancient lightsaber. It doesn't say blue character only. So you can put this on just about anybody and get 2 free healing as long as you're willing to banish it to the bottom of your deck. This thing's costed really, really well, and you know it is a legendary, so you're gonna have to chase to get this one. But I think it's a solid pick right now with lightsaber pull coming soon in the new set as well. The third card we're going to look at is Reaping the Crystal. So remember how I was talking about Blue Hero never having heaps of credits? Well, now for this zero cost event, they can discount something. This is a very anti-Imperial Inspection reactionary kind of card. It's good, and I want it, Precious. With Reaping the Crystal, you can play a blue card that costs 3 or more from your hand, decreasing its cost by 1. So those 3 cost weapons just became 2 cost weapons. It's kind of like a Padawan effect in a card without the stipulation of the character needing to be naked. I like it. It's solid. Think of all the high cost blue upgrades out there besides regular lightsaber. There's light bow at 3, one with the Force at 4, Luke's lightsabers at 3. Most of the Force powers out there are 3, with Mind Probe being at 4. And Hero can use a lot of that stuff. It's a good value card and worth seeing if after all this shakes out and we know what the entire Empire at War set looks like, if there's a spot for at least one of these in your deck. Funeral Pyre is a card that solves some of Blue's problems with weapons, and certainly with abilities. Right now, Blue wants to have redeploy. It's one of the biggest arguments against using Luke's lightsaber, and for using the new Rey's lightsaber in the 2-player set, which is amazing and way better than regular lightsaber. But with Funeral Pyre, you can worry less about stuff like that, since as long as this is in play, before a blue character is defeated, you may move an upgrade from it to another one of your characters. This is crazy good. It's a card that makes even abilities have redeploy. Think about that. Makashi training with a redeploy. Force powers with redeploy. Force speed with redeploy. Do I have your attention now, children? Yeah, I thought so. Don't underestimate this card. I know it costs 1, but it might be worth it for those games where you're loading up Rey for action sheets. You know she's going down, but you don't care because one of those upgrades is going to be salvaged at least. This is cool stuff, Lucas. I really like this a lot. Last up for the blue review here is Bestow, a 1-cost blue event for hero only. Yes, finally, blue hero only, please. That lets you move a non-ability upgrade from one of your blue characters to another character. So here again, we have more redeploy-like tricks that we're getting for Blue Hero. Preserve the value of the cards that you've gotten into play. Funeral Pyre is only going to redeploy 1 upgrade of any type. So maybe you bestow Vibro Knife from Rey to Qui-Gon. Let Pyre move over the Force speed on Rey into Qui-Gon, and the lightsaber that you got on her is going to redeploy itself. Suddenly you've made a magical thing happen. Is it going to be something that you can take advantage of every game? Probably not. But what these cards are bestowing on you is options. And options are always worth having more of, especially in Blue Hero. This card is very likely an include in something like Rey Double Padawans or any upcoming blue deck where you have a main and a support like Rey so that you can get the most mileage out of the upgrades that you're putting out onto the field. So that about wraps up the discussion on the Blue Hero spoilers from the FFG article. There were a number of other cards in that article that we had already seen, so they weren't really worth going over. But I had said I was also going to mention some of the other stuff that's happening on the internet that is worth mentioning. So right now, actually just ended today. So at the time of this recording, you already know the results of the Nova Open, but that did happen this past couple of days on Thursday and Friday, and that was the U.S. Nationals for Destiny. And there was a lot of cool stuff happening there, like I mentioned before, like FFG having a demo table where you could win some packs. And a few of the tables were even streamed on twitch.tv/the Chance Cube. And I think it's worth saying thank you to the Chance Cube for streaming some of the tournament. You guys did a great job with the commentary, even on some of the confusing plays. And it was definitely fun to hear some familiar voices narrating over the experience besides all that. And I know some of you are really pining for some more spoilers, so I really suggest subscribing to all the Destiny Facebook groups and the subreddit as well to see things how they happen up to date, and also join the Knights of Ren Discord because there's a ton of discussion that happens on there pretty much 24/7. Like I said before, there are just so many spoilers right now this week to put in one place because it's all moving so fast, but I might try to get a video up here tomorrow night with a collection of them. We'll just see how I feel then. And if you want to check out a review of the new 2-player Destiny box set, check out the guys over at Chit Talk, who just did an unboxing for that and talked about a lot of the cards in there. I know Justin pretty well, who's doing the camera work in this particular video over here, and the guy on the left, whose name is Shane. We play some board games together from time to time at the Impact Gaming community, and their channel is totally worth checking out for a lot of cool content, including some stuff about Destiny. So that about wraps everything up here today, guys. But before I go, I want to just say thanks to Sugi from the Knights of Ren for taking the time to watch one of my videos and give me some tips on lighting and volume leveling. I'm putting that advice to good use, I think. Also, I appreciate all the wonderful feedback that I've gotten from the people on Facebook, people on Discord, and those in my own gaming community. I've heard some really kind words, and it's really, really cool of you guys to give up a few minutes of your day to watch my content here on YouTube. So with that, I think I've said enough sappy stuff for today. I will see you all, hopefully, on the next video that I'll be posting, hopefully, tomorrow night, right here at Rebel Impact. So may the Force be with you.